Greetings, everyone. This is me again, Zahra, ex-Muslim, ex-Shia, truth seeker, and to help the Muslims see for themselves and decide. Now, this is for Shia, Ismailis, and Islam, but mostly Shias on this. Hello, Suleiman Masih. How are you? I'm not too well, but thank you so much for asking. You are that Christian, right? Welcome, welcome. This is for the Muslims and especially the Shias right now. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay, welcome. So here we are. I've reached, does Allah depend upon his attributes then? Right, so started from a channel, The Alchemist, which took me to back to because she said pre manifestation or like that, so reminded me. And the witness is a creation of Allah. Oh, sorry, God. So she's been a Muslim, and from one side of a parent, and a Christian Catholic from the other side of a parent. So this, anyways, what she said reminded me of God is beyond existence, Ismaili apophatic theology, right? So to say God is beyond existence does not amount to atheism. Khalil Andani. So the fellow Muslims, they have been criticizing Ismaili Shia for atheism and all the rest. The works go on like this. But we're not like this. We're not criticizing as Muslims. In Islam, we're saying the whole total Islam is a false religion. Quran has problems, contradictions, and thus Quran is proof that Islam is a false religion. So this, and then working out on Facebook profile, then the unborn is the unknown, and beyond existence that's God, meaning this unborn who will be coming into existence, created by procreation. So if we say God is beyond existence and creation, yet we see that an unknown, unborn came to be known and was born by the act of procreation, then in this life, then through this we have demonstrated that God can be born. Right? In a way. But they say that God is not, God is beyond existence, but not non-existent. The Shia say this. So a lot of help from Ismailis because they're now coming writing articles thanks to Professor Dr. Khalil Andani and Sabir Salim and all. Okay. God does not depend on procreation, they would say, and he's not what was unknown, uncreated, and non-existent, right? He is not non-existent, but a non-existent could come into existence through the procreation in this life. Think about it. If that can happen in this life, two created beings, who are born through procreation, have procreated an unknown, uncreated being again. So logically, it could, like coming close to that, a very amateur style of my logic, but bear with me here. Let's see, maybe I'm wrong. And he is above and beyond existence and creation, right? And applying the example of the unborn, Can we apply the example of the unborn like I applied the example of the unborn? We get a logical fallacy then, that even a non-created, not even in existence, right, can be born like that through procreation. So what does it say about the one who is beyond existence and yet this way, taking it, just holding on to this part, right? Beyond existence, Allah is beyond existence and not non-existence or non-existing. So could I be wrong? Let's see. So I was trying to work it out in my previous live stream. This is a continuation of my previous live stream. Let's work it out through logic again. This unborn and unconceived is unknown, uncreated, and not even in existence. Let's not say beyond existence, but I would correct myself saying that it's not non-existent. Until procreation takes place and is conceived and given birth to be continued. So this is where I've reached. I reached in my previous live stream going to Surah 6, Ayat 103. So, I reached, does Allah depend upon His attributes? Right? So reading my Shia books and Sermon 1 of Imam Ali, also I will be showing you that. First of all, Surah 6, Ayat 103, vision perceives him not, but he perceives vision. He is the subtle, the aware. Now what the Shias believe is what Imam Ali has told them in Najl Balagha Sermon 1, that, and the voices outside, sorry about that if you can hear it, there's some work going on outside. Sounds and all. So I apologize for that. These are Allah's attributes, but Allah is not His attributes. So Imam Ali says in Najl Balagha, the perfection of His purity, the perfection of Allah's purity is to deny Him attributes. Meaning that Allah is not even His attributes, right? Allah is not even His attributes. Imam Ali in Najl Balagha, Sermon 1. And I can go through the sermon. 1, Najl Balagha, Imam Ali. But let me take you step by step. So if you're a Shia, you would know what I'm talking about. If you're not, you will have to listen to me until the end, right? So sorry about that. You won't understand right now fully, perhaps. So these are Allah's attributes, but Allah is not His attributes. Imam Ali, by saying this, means that Allah is not His attributes. The perfection of Allah's purity. His purity means Allah's purity. Imam Ali is talking about Allah in Najl Balagha, Sermon 1. The perfection of His purity is to deny Him, meaning Allah, attributes. So Imam Ali, Najl Balagha, Sermon 1. So then who is Allah without His attributes? Or shall we go another way? You see, what's happened here is that in this ayat, coming as a Shia, if Allah is not His attributes, like Imam Ali has kind of, in other words, put it, then to deny His attributes is Allah's perfection. So then, without this, this would be His attribute here. Surah 6, Ayat 103. Vision perceives Him not, but He perceives vision. Or there are many different translations of this ayat, like vision, no vision can take Him in, but He takes in all vision. I wonder if the Shias will use Abdul Halim's translation. Or Maududi, Sunni translator, Sunni Muslim, no visual perception can encompass him. Although I've seen the word encompass in another ayat, and it's not wasiyun, or that word is not encompassing, all encompassing, and this means this means encompassing him. This Arabic word in this ayat, even though he encompasses all visual perception. He is the all subtle, the all aware. Okay, let me explain. What Imam Ali in Sermon 1 is trying to say is that Allah is beyond the attributes. To see Him as an attribute of His, it would be to limit Him. So he explains in Sermon 1, right? But a little bit in my own words, I'd like to say this for now. Allah is not His attributes. So then if Allah is not His attributes, then can we say that He depends on His attribute to perceive all visions? And He's not the perceiver of all visions then. He's apart from this attribute. So just for now, logically, it doesn't fall into logic because, and why logically? Because even the Imams have used logic. In Al-Kafi we see in Sermon 1, we'll be seeing. These are Allah's attributes, but Allah is not His attributes. Then who is Allah without His attributes? Can we ask that? Or can we say that He depends upon His attributes to be able to perceive everything, all visions, to be precise, right, for this ayat. So Imam Ali says in Najl Balagha, the perfection of His purity is to deny Him attributes. About the above ayah, one such attribute of Allah is grasping all visions. So Yusuf Ali, I didn't put Yusuf Ali's translation. So there's a translation, Sahih International, he perceives all visions. Okay, I don't know, but the first time I got the translation, I don't know by whom, and I haven't put it here. Sorry about this, it's my fault. So anyways, so without this attribute, like one such attribute of Allah, this is what the Shias would say, understanding Imam Ali. And what Imam Ali himself would say is that Allah is Allah's attribute, one such attribute of Allah is grasping all visions. This is just an attribute of Allah, this is not Himself, this is not Allah. So Allah is beyond His attributes. So without this attribute, can He grasp all visions? So there's this, I'm stuck now, right? I don't know. Do you know? Without this attribute, can Allah then grasp all visions? Without this attribute of grasping all visions. First and foremost, taking it logically, right? So we had to take it logically, and we have to take it logically. How? Even Shia Imams would explain using logic first. Example, Sermon 1, Najl Balagha, Imam Ali. So Allah can't grasp visions without this attribute of His. That is grasping all visions, right? Because Imam Ali in Sermon 1, Najl Balagha, says, now listen to this, the foremost in religion is the acknowledgement of Him meaning Allah. The perfection of acknowledging Him is to testify Him. That Okay, so there's an ayat which says we made them testify about themselves, against themselves, or over themselves. Am I not your Lord? And they said yes. So that ayat. The perfection of testifying him is to believe in his oneness. The perfection of believing in his oneness is to regard him pure. And the perfection of his purity is to deny him attributes. Not that his attributes are not there, his attributes are there. Imam Ali is with the Quran and Quran is with Imam Ali, the Shia say, right? But what does Imam Ali mean by this? Then we find out, because every attribute is a proof that it is different from that to which it is attributed. And everything to which something is attributed is different from the attribute. Like your name is different from who you actually are, right? For example, thus, whoever attaches attributes to Allah recognizes His like, and whoever recognizes His like regards Him too, and whoever regards Him as two recognizes parts for Him. And whoever recognizes parts for him mistook him, and whoever mistook him pointed at him, and whoever pointed at him admitted limitations for him, and whoever admitted limitations for him numbered him. Imam Ali is going like logically, Whoever said, "In what is he?" held that he is contained, and whoever said, "On what is he?" held he is not on something else. So to say, what is Allah, how is Allah, where is Allah, in what respect is Allah, or is it like, where is Allah? The same would be to limit him. So he doesn't have, you can't ask, where is Allah, how is Allah, what is Allah, right? For Allah. And Imam Ali is not saying that what you see in the Quran, the attributes of Allah, the face of Allah, and all this, that they don't exist. He's not saying that. He's just explaining further that those attributes given in the Quran about Him are not actually Him. He's beyond that. If even that attribute, Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth, Surah Nur, ayat 35 maybe, is just His attribute. His light is His attribute. It's not Him. So that's all Imam Ali is saying. So don't get him wrong. Right? Moreover, he is not a being, but not through phenomenon of coming. So he explains this, but here in somewhat manner he has taken some logical way to explain, like step by step, that whoever about the attributes attached, like if you attach attributes to Allah, that doesn't mean that we don't do zikr, we don't take Allah's attributes. We do take Allah's attribute to praise Him, to, pray and all this, right? We don't, it's not, when Imam Ali says denying, so whoever recognizes, where is it when he says denying? See, Sermon 1. The perfection of His purity is to deny Him attributes. That doesn't mean that what Allah has given Himself attributes in the Quran, we deny those attributes. But Imam Ali is explaining, like this is like further notes about Allah. Okay? So please don't blame the Shias for now. Imam Ali, has said this, and they've taken Najul Balagha is not from Imam Ali, and they've just taken a book that is fabricated and all this. So, what this means is the perfection of His purity is to deny Him attributes. That the attributes are not actually Allah. The reality of Allah is that He is beyond existence. And these are just His attributes. In creation, in existence, created by Him. For example, if you say Jesus, the Quran ayat says Jesus is the Spirit of Allah. That doesn't mean that the Spirit of Allah, it's the Spirit of Allah, meaning Allah has a spirit and therefore Jesus is Allah because as His Spirit. No, it means that Jesus is the created Spirit of Allah. It's the created Spirit which Allah has created, and Allah thus calls Him the Spirit of Allah. So the Spirit even is created, right? Hope you understand this. So I came to, I couldn't get the words right when I was a Shia reading, even not Najl Balagha, when reading about God, how to, something about God in Al-Qafi, the other Shia book by Kulaini. I was like, there's some things that I wasn't quite, I was too amateur, but I used to think and kind of object to certain things that Imams were saying. I don't know exactly what they were. So something like, for example, here, like how I came up with this, that then does Allah depend upon His attributes? They would say, no, Allah doesn't depend upon His attributes, right? But He's created these attributes just so to know that these are His created attributes and His signs by which you know Him. You can never know His essence, His intrinsic, whatever, like His reality, His actuality. Not that. That you can never know. These attributes are created. So when you take this attribute that vision perceives Him not. So what I came to is that, but doesn't Allah depend upon His attributes to show us that He exists even? And how He depends upon this attribute, that without this attribute, He is the, He perceives vision, let's say, or all vision, but visions cannot perceive Him. So without this perception of His, which He has created, this is also a perception, or He grasps all visions, or He encompasses all visions, or He takes in all visions. Could you say that without this He cannot, right? He has created all this for creation, even the aware. This is also His attribute. The subtle, this is His attribute. These are all created attributes of His. For creation, to explain to you that He exists. But, okay, going there, that His signs are enough to know His essence, His signs, according to Shias, would never be enough to know His essence. We can never know His essence. His actuality, His reality. as he exists without, or as he is without, he doesn't, he's beyond existence, but as he is beyond, like as he is without his attributes, without his created attributes. We can never know that. Let's put it this way. So then, this is all his creation, right? So for the creation, he had to create the perception or the taking in all vision, whatever way, encompassing even him. Even though he, no, sorry, he encompasses all visual perception, right? This is his creation, encompasses. Understanding what Imam Ali has said in Sermon 1, Najul Balagha. This is his attribute. Encompasses all visual perception. And it thus his creation. So then how then he depends on this to perceive what he has created, as to perceive all perceptions. His created vision. Also this, the vision perception, which is a lower creation, and the highest of his creation is his attribute. He encompasses all visual perception, encompassing, grasping, taking in, perceiving. Higher his attribute, which he is not. Then creation, and for us to understand this, that these are his signs and creations, and the Shias would say that no, he what? He doesn't need to depend on this to perceive. Doesn't need to depend on this attribute. No. But he needs to. He needs to depend upon his attribute, this attribute especially. For what he has created, the lower things he's created, or any visions in which you can see inside, outside, foresight, any vision, any perception, any visual perception, but any visual perception you can see, right, is lower than he in this, what, but he encompasses all this, and that is the highest, I guess. And yet what, then doesn't he depend on this high attribute of his to perceive all lower visions which cannot perceive him? Huh? To look at his creation, he needed to create that all the encompassing visual perception, or the encompassing, or the embracing, or whatever it is that he's the all-seeing. He's the all-seeing. Let's even bring that out, right? That ayat. Allah is the all-aware, or wait a minute, all-seeing, or he's the seeing of everything. Now this Let's take it from a Quran ayat. For Allah is all-seeing. Now, Imam Ali, the way he's put it, would mean that he's Basirun. Now, here it's Basir, the all-seeing, right? So, and Allah of what you do is all-seeing. He's created this all-seeing to see the creation. He's not in his creation. And to see what is in the existence, because he's beyond existence, he's created the all-seeing attribute. This is also his attribute, created. It is he who created the heavens and the earth in 6 days and then established himself above the throne. He knows what penetrates into the earth and what emerges from it, and what descends from the heaven and what ascends there. And he is with you wherever you are. And Allah of what you do is seeing. Right? So the seeing is his attribute. So what he has created, he has created something higher than the sight, the seeing, however you perceive or see, higher attribute of his to see everything. Okay? Basir, even seeing. He's seeing. He's the witness. And they say, the Shias would say what Imam Ali says, through working that out, denying his attributes is purifying him. It's perfection of his, perfection. It would be that he's, even the witness, he's created. Now I've lost that. What would the Shia say? Even the witnessing, he's created, but he's not dependent upon his creation. He's limitless in the sense that, okay, what Imam Ali says here, he's limitless. Let's go to Imam Ali. He's a being, but not through phenomenon of coming into being. He exists, but not from non-existence. He exists, but not from non-existence. He is with everything, but not in physical nearness. He is different from everything, but not in physical separation. Right? He acts, but without connotation of movements and instruments. Like Aristotle has said, the immovable mover. He sees even when there is none to be looked at from among his creation. Wait a minute. He sees even when there is none to be looked at from among his creation. Now, if we come, so his seeing would be an attribute of his, right? He sees even when there is none to be looked at from among his creation. So he's not dependent. What's this? Some mosquito or something. Bug has come in. He's only one, such that there is none with whom he may keep company or whom he may miss in his absence. And how is he one? Not in number, and all that. Imam Ali's even explained that in another sermon, I think, not in this one. Or maybe in this one, have I taken the whole? Somewhere in Najul Balagha, I can't remember. So sorry about that. Can't remember which sermon. So he is he sees, his seeing is a creation, they say, even when there is none to be looked at, right? He still sees from among his creation. So the witness or the seeing, the seer, the basir is his attribute, which he has created because he's the uncreated, and he cannot, nothing can add, and I mean he himself cannot come into creation. Even his seeing, his attributes have to be created to be able to come into creation. Even as a witness, shahid, the witness is the attribute of his, but he himself, none knows where he is, what he is. So he's limitless, or how would Imam Ali, he hasn't put it here. So can anyone help me with this? Allah is without any limits. See, so the perfection of his purity is to deny him attributes, because every attribute is a proof that it is different. Thank you, Grishma Taneru, again. Excellent, 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 excellent. Is that excellent? Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all this excellent, excellent. Now, that's, sorry, that's thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Oh, it's thumbs up, thumbs up. Sorry, it's not excellent, it's thumbs up, thumbs up. Last time I think you gave me that excellent thing. But really, I don't know, like I haven't really, either I have not understood. Allah is limitless. But that limit, wait, what does Imam Ali use the word limit here? Thus, whoever attaches attributes to Allah recognizes his like. Let's read this. And whoever recognizes his like regards him too. And whoever regards him as two recognizes parts for him. And whoever recognizes parts for him mistook him. And whoever mistook him pointed at him. Now it comes. And whoever pointed at him admitted limitations for him. So, and whoever admitted limitations for him numbered him, quantified him, qualified him. Even quantity and qualifying is not for him, right? Quantifying him. So he's limitless. Yet, in what manner? Beyond his creation. But he's beyond his creation. Now, does that logically, he's beyond his creation, he's limitless, meaning he doesn't come in his creation. He's not part of his creation because he's the creator. He can't be part of his creation. And since he exists but not from non-existence, doesn't mean that he is if you say existence is coming forth, then you can't say that this is God. If you define existence as coming forth, then that's not God. Then that's not God's existence. Then Imam Ali may have put another Arabic word for this or something. I don't know. So, looking at Ismaili, again going to Professor Khalil Andani's, Dr. Khalil Andani's. Professor Khalil Andani, thinkingislam.com, with Dr. Khalil Andani, Assistant Professor of Religion. Oops. God beyond his existence, right? So the most enigmatic element of Ismaili apophatic theology, sorry I can't pronounce these words, is the infamous claim that God is beyond being. That is, God is not existent and God is not non-existent. God, that means God is beyond existence, right? Here. We can say it in that. Not that is God is not existent and God is not non-existent. Here it will mean God is beyond existence, like Wikipedia has put it. Hopefully that. So for starters, Aristotelian logic, it is perfectly sound, makes statements in which there are two contrary opposites. So God is neither dry nor wet, God is neither healthy nor sick, God is neither inside the universe nor is he outside the universe. The point of these double negations is to point out a category error, but of the negated attributes, such as healthy and sick, do not apply to God because they only apply to physical living beings. That's all they've been told, right? So there's no contradiction here. This is how far they can go in logic, because that's what they've been told, that Imam Ali has explained to them. Hasti wajud, Ex-Shia, Hasti wajud, and non-existent. So existence, framework regards. In this very respect, the Ismaili semantic framework regards existence and non-existence as contraries, but not as contradictories. Contraries, but not as contradictories. This means that God is beyond existence. God is beyond existence. Now, here it comes. A proper and good faith assessment of the Ismaili claim that God is beyond existence and non-existence, and that he is non-existent, must account for the semantics of the word being/existence within Ismaili discourse, Neoplatonic thought, and Islamic thought more generally. In fact, the nature of being and its relation to concrete beings was a highly disputed and nuanced issue in Islamic intellectual history. Abdul Rahman al-Jami, in his Precious Pearl, outlines several positions taken by Islamic theologians, philosophers, and mystics. One group identified with some of the Kalam theologians said that every entity, including God and creatures, has its own specific existence, unique onto itself, and that the term existence is only applied to various entities in name only, lafzan, right? Lafzan would mean in name, words. Another group of the theologians, the majority, conceives existence, and the majority conceives existence as a single concept or idea. مفهوم واحد مفهوم واحد in the mind, which is then mentally subdivided into similar concepts and attributed to various things. The view of the philosophers is that there is a single mental concept of existence, but in external reality, each existing thing has its own specific existence. Wujud khasa, entailing multiple existences of dissimilar realities. Al-wujudat mukhtalifat al-haqaiq, in extra-mental reality, each of which is a concomitant accident. Arid lazim laha, attached to an essence slash quidity. The Sufis, however, affirm that there is one absolute single existent reality. Haqiqa wahida mutlaqa mawjuda, namely God Himself, who is without any multiplicity, division, or entitative attributes. Everything other than God, namely the creations, is the locus of a particularized manifestation, zuhuri, of God core absolute existence. What the Ismailis present concerning existence being and its relationship to God should be situated within this broader intra-Muslim debate about ontology. So this for scholars, or even very high, if you have a high comprehension. What if the people can't understand this? Common people. Then exists. So very easy thing would be something like showing it, demonstrating it, right? Come and we will see. Instead of all this knowledge, explaining, no matter how high the knowledge is, we can show it in simple ways to simple people, simple-minded people, right? Or we all have to be knowledgeable as Muslims. Rabbi zidni ilma. Oh Allah, please increase me in knowledge. Yeah, oh Lord, please increase me in knowledge. Surah Taha ayat. Oh. So now I've read this in my previous live stream, some of it. Oh no. So some of it I've skipped. I haven't read everything. Some of what I read right now, I didn't read it in my previous live stream. Okay. Shouldn't God make it very easy, like to understand? Or even proof of this, right? So I just used, you see, the qualities and essence. When I read Mullah Sadra, I went lost. I went too much intellectual in the mind. And then there are words like I had to search what are qualities, and, and then my memory. And at that time also, I had to open the dictionary. Essence, this, that. So this, wait a minute. Based on this finding of Han, Vitala, and D. Rado, clarify that in claiming the one is beyond being, to Enai, Plotinus, does not mean that the one does not exist. Yeah. So existence is there. They say, okay, we're taking. So, they're trying to explain in a logical. You see, what they have to do is they have to give examples and then depend on what Vitala has said and what Di Rado has clarified by their Greek. Rather in the Greek semantics, it's assumed. So now assumption, it's assumed by Plotinus, right? So what does God say? These people assume about me. Assuming is not a good thing. Anyways, about God, assuming about God is not something good. So anyways, in the Quran ayat you can see that. Although assumption in some cases is good. Like in Surah Nur ayat, Allah says, the word he's used, zana. Okay, so but assuming about God is not good. Anyways, rather in the Greek semantics, we take this assumed by Plotinus, the verb to be, the verb, as the primary function of predication, with the meaning of to be something or another, right? To be something or another. The same verb only takes on an existential value with the meaning to exist in very specific secondary contexts. Now, do you understand this? I don't understand it. I mean, I've studied law. So, so to exist in very specific secondary contexts. Based on this finding of Han, Vitala, and Dirado clarified that in claiming the one is being, the one is beyond being, to Inai. Plotinus does not mean that the one does not exist, since the existence of the one is the foundation for the existence of everything else. Instead, Han argues that Plotinus' denial of being to the one only entails that the one cannot be a subject of true predication. Right? True predication. That is to be. Because God, remember, says, I say, when I want something, when I intend a thing, I say to it, be, and it is. So God cannot be in the be, to be, right? That's the, I think, the predication I think they're talking about. Secondary context and all that. God knows, I'm just guessing. Therefore, when Neoplatonists say that God is beyond existence, they only mean to say that God cannot be the subject of any real predications, since real predications denote some determinate finite feature and ontological plurality in the one. Vitala and oh my God, sorry, and Diradio. Okay, Diradio. Further conclude that Plotinus does not subscribe to a univocal concept of existence, being, as modern. First of all, let's forget concepts and all this, right? Concept is from the mind. We conceive. Okay, women conceive children. We say it's conception. But here, the mind idea. So everything, forget, empty yourselves, empty yourselves. And then see this emptiness. I'm not this, I'm not this. I'm not my body, I'm not my mind. Then is there something which remains? I'm not Zahra, the name I'm not this body. Or if this body I am, it is temporary and it will go away. But let's negate everything now about ourselves, even. I'm not my thoughts. Why are we negating? Right? Can we reach a common factor maybe to reach the oneness? Ah, okay. So this one as existing is to speak equivocally about its existence, which transcends the existences of everything else, right? The one does not exist in the way. The one, they say, the one. He is Wahid, Wahid. Allah is Wahid. So can we get to this Allah who is Wahid? Or even this one is not him. He doesn't have a one. But let's say, can we get to his being? So is in exalting God beyond being? Okay, now Plotinus worldview charged that Ismaili philosophers in exalting God beyond being and non-being. Oh God, so if even we come to the being, or to be, or that we are, this is, the isness, is the being, right? Without form. Let's if we can negate, why would we negate, right? Why would we negate? Why are we negating? To find what? The common factor, the something? Do we have a common factor? The unity, do we have this? Is there somewhere? Like we're truth seekers and we're searching if there is this common factor, unity in diversity, right? So there are diverse things that exist, minds and thoughts and different thoughts, and mind is the same, but you know what I mean. So like that, diverse things existing in subtle form too. Thoughts don't have that any form. It's a very subtle form. It's in thought, right? Thought form. It's not physical in the sense that not really something concrete. They are thoughts which are not concrete, abstract, right? So even the very abstract things that exist. So we're also searching whether God exists or not. I mean, in the sense that in what manner can we find him? Can we see him? Can we perceive him? By negating. Am I my thought? Am I the change, the changing world? What am I? Who am I? And when it comes to the questions that come, because let's say there are conflicts in me. My thought says something, my heart says something. Feelings say something to me, and my mind, my thoughts say something else. And so we go, oh, is this the intuition saying or what? So let's negate let's see if all these conflicts that are there, opposites that exist, right? Hate, love, fear, peace, this, that. The opposites that exist, if there is something in existence which is which doesn't have conflict, so we're finding that. So how can we have like peace, no conflict? So like that, can we say, am I jumping? If we negate my thought, I'm in time. I'm in time. Is there something timeless? Timeless. Because all this is in time, which is conflict, which is in conflict. Time itself is. Time is time. Can time be in conflict? Time is not in conflict, but our thoughts. No, time is like past, present, and future. So it's a division, right? And future. I'm thinking of my future, and I will be doing this. So there is movement in time. Now, could we have a conflict to become? Being, we are here, we exist. But can we exist without conflict? Without any movement? That would have what? I am this, I want to become this. Or I am this, I want to get this. Right now, I don't have this, I want to get that. So there is this struggle, right? Which could amount to conflict, effort, exertion, force, willpower. I don't know how to say this. Anyhow, so can we see what we are in form, and can there be like a formless in time without time? Timelessness. So let's say, okay, so I am the body, I am the mind. Am I more than this? Or what am I? Right? And I die. So death is a sure thing. And so I die. One day I'll die. Is death the only sure thing? Also die. So how shall I come? Why am I negating? So everything here is changing. There's change. Change is something which is constant. A movement, change. Is there something which does not change, where there's no movement in time? So there's no conflict. Like I'm here, I want to get there. There's no struggle, there's no effort. You see? So that's why to see that can I, is there something that is there's no movement. There is this wholeness. absolute, complete. So I had to take Descartes. Descartes said, I think, therefore I am. And so I went to I am, because I saw that putting my mind aside, just not paying attention to my thoughts or mind, is there something which exists without any thought bringing it into existence. Just pay a little attention to this, right? Don't you find like you are in this, you find yourself in peace, light, emptiness? It's not the void. It's not like something is missing. Oh, I'm empty. I need to fill up myself, right? Fill up myself. No. Isn't there this, all of a sudden, I felt this peace, like a little bit of like empty, not a void. Void is something that you want to fill in. You feel, void is not a good word. I don't want to use void. But something that is so, it's completely empty, empty, empty. Oh, drop the baggage, all that you are, that you want to become, that you are striving hard for, or even striving for. I get angry, I want to not get angry. I'm attached to things, I want to detach myself from them. Right? Whatever the conditioning in this world, habits, all that, just leave them for a while, not to become, don't touch them. Don't touch them. Just the being and not the becoming. That's why Jiddu Krishnamurti also shows us this step by step. Not the becoming, but the being, just the being, where there's no effort, no conflict. This, right? What is this? This just is. And your mind can't define it, but it is. So like this, someone doing with us, an imam would have been better than all this, sorry, it really, existing is to speak equiv. Now you know the true meaning of equivocally, about as existent, transcends. You know the meaning? So it becomes with words and this, okay, explaining something, but showing you, not explaining to you. Something which doesn't explain to the mind, it stops, it just disregard the mind. Every word, every explanation, everything. Just stop it. Like, okay, you won't be able to stop the mind, but just be still. And find that stillness in you, which is the emptiness. Where if you, this, it's still because it's not still, it's just not in movement of time. It's not in time and it's not off time. There's no movement here. But it's not even inertia, meaning you're not just stuck somewhere, right? Or you don't want to do anything. It's not like that. So this is instead of going through it intellectually also, then we're too much in the mind. Uh, oh yeah, logic, and then using logic. We can use logic to a certain extent, like when we have to figure something out, and okay, but not rely heavily on this. The main thing would be, who are we? Are we the mind? Are we logic? You know what I mean? Are we maths? No, we're not maths. Maths can be extraordinary. Science can be extraordinary, but we are not that. And we are not even scientists, and we're not mathematicians. There's a time when I had high marks in maths. There's a time when I went low down in maths. And I didn't want maths as a subject. There's a time when I loved maths. I was getting highest grades in my class tests. Then afterwards, there's a time when I hated maths. So things change, right? And I've seen those changes in me too. There's a time when I enjoyed maths. There's a time when I hated. I didn't enjoy maths. Opposite of enjoyment. So what actually, in a very layman, amateur way, Allah, they say, the Shia say, well, it's not even they, like it was me. I was a Shia. And I would agree to this, that Allah's attributes, all this when I was a Shia. But what not sometimes, like, get stuck in this, in the too much intellectual. So these signs and these attributes of Allah are in creation, are His creation. Yeah, I get stuck. So what I came close to saying is that, does Allah depend upon His attributes? No, Allah doesn't depend upon His attributes. But wait a minute. We would say that the Shias would say Allah doesn't depend on His attributes, but He's made these attributes because He's the uncreated, and for the creation He's made these attributes. So this one particular attribute is that if He's, then it's not even the witness, if He's not even this, right? This is His creation. Seeing is also His creation attribute, His attribute, the seeing, or the all-seeing, they put it. Then he's in that position. He's not even doesn't have a position, but he's in the isness that doesn't even need seeing, they would say, right? He doesn't need seeing. He doesn't need seeing. But the creation He created needs seeing. That's what the Shias would say. Oh, so I got it, okay. So the creation He created needs seeing. So the Shias would not think like this. Like I've put it, I said I reached in my previous live stream, does Allah depend upon His attributes? They would say, no, Allah doesn't depend upon His attributes. He depends on nothing. He can create, he creates out of nothing, right? He's the father, he's the originator. He doesn't even need the mind to think or anything dependent on anything to create anything. Okay, I'm going, wait. So Allah only created these attributes. He doesn't even need seeing. He doesn't need it. He is needless of seeing. Right? This is the Shia thing now, they'll say that. Right? He's uncreated. Right? And so the Shias would say he doesn't need it because he's needless. There's a ayat. Allah is needless. So just because he created, he requires, the creation requires these highest attributes even of his. That's what the Shias are. That's what the Shias will say. He doesn't even need to be a witness on his own, but because creation, he created it for some purpose. So what is the purpose of creation also? But okay, but right now, like if I go ahead, then I get stuck. You see, that's why I'm going ahead to tell you. Then you find that he's so needless. He is needless. And then he didn't even need to create. Did he need to create? No, he didn't need to create. Then why did he create? Tell me. If Shias come this way, then I'll come this way. What was the purpose of creation then? To worship him? He doesn't even need worship. Does he need worship? Then in Surah Zariyat, or which surah, it says that he said, I created man and jinn, or jinn and men, to worship me. And then in another ayat, so we have contradictions. So like if the Shias come like that, you see the way the Shias would come, oh God, it's like never ending. You can't say, oh, he doesn't need this, he's needless, oh Lord, Imam Hussein has said you are so needless. How then can we give you anything? So he doesn't need sacrifices, he doesn't need worship. Then what was the purpose of his creation? So everything is futile then. For him, he doesn't need it. He created for another? Or the light he created? Oh, for this light he created. So Prophet Muhammad. So there's hadith, we have hadith kisa. That I didn't, Jibrail comes and tells Prophet Muhammad that I didn't. So they go under the kisa, the mantle, and, Ali, Muhammad, Ali, Fatima, Hassan, Hussein, and then they pray, oh God, this and that, and then Jibrail comes and says that, God created all this because of you five under the mantle, and he would not have created all this, but out of love for you five. So, right? Out of love for you five, he created this. So Allah loved these five holy beings, light beings so much that he created. right? All this. I guess Allah also created love. So I get stuck in this, and so the no, no, he's needless. He doesn't need anything. Okay, he doesn't need anything. Then why does he need? Why did he need to create? Please, someone please tell me, why did he need? Oh, the necessary being. Dr. Khalil Andani. Yes, yes, yes. So his so it really oh, I'll have to go to YouTube, listen again to the why did he create Dr. Khalil Andani's God, why did God create I think it's in this, The Concepts of God in Islamic Kalam Theology by Dr. Khalil Andani. If I have liked this, then I've seen this. The necessary being God as good. What does it mean by maybe this one, Thinking Islam, channel of on YouTube? What does it mean that God is good? Okay, no, it's not 3 minutes. Creation according to Ismaili Muslims with Dr. Khalil Andani. Focus on the Kingdom channel. Ibn Sina, Avicenna's Proof of God's Existence by Dr. Khalil Andani. Maybe in these. But is there... So you see what the Shia stance is? Let's say Ismaili Shias. Let's take the now Ismaili Shias for now. That God, it doesn't need anything. He's beyond existence and yet not non-existent. Okay? And the necessary being is God. He's a necessary being. Oh, so I cannot watch this. Let's see if we have it written in written form by Dr. Khalil Andani. Or Ismaili necessary being, God. Oh, sorry. How do we know that necessary being is? Oh, now here, oh God, Allah transcends the necessary being described by the philosophers of Islam like Ibn Sina. Yeah, this is what the 12 Shias and even Dr. Khalil Andani, as maybe he was describing Ibn Sina and then about what he said. Yeah, because Allah transcends the necessary being even. Oh, so Dr. Khalil Andani was not like the Ismaili. We have contradictions here. I don't know what this is. Wait a minute. Let's see the Shia for once. Lesson 7. 12 Shias. Theological instructions. Muhammad Taqi Misbah Yazdi. Okay. Message Aqaid. Where is it? Oh, text of proof. The proof of God. Several arguments. Wajib al-wajud, wajib. Okay, simple and requires less of an introduction. In order to establish an existence as necessary wajib. In this lesson, however, the validity of this argument is only for proving necessary existent. Wajib al-wujud. Existent which does not need, require, depend upon any other existent for coming into being, and in order to prove its positive attributes, knowledge, omnipotence, and being above time and space requires arguments. Text of the proof. Existence through intellectual perception is either necessary existence or possible existence. Possibility and necessity. What is the impossibility of an endless chain of causes? I reached the end, and from another angle, it must be seen that, wait a minute, the principle of causation affirms that, oh God. Mumkin, possible existence. Necessary existence is known as an existent which exists in itself and does not depend upon another existent. Naturally, such an existent will have no beginning and no end, because the non-existence of something in a particular time is an indication that its existence is not from itself, right? In order for it to come into existence, it needs another existent, which is the cause or the condition for its realization. Come into existence. Yeah. Yes. But the unborn coming into existence. Yes. So this is how they'll argue that this unborn, you see, came into existence depending on, and God doesn't depend on these procreation. So God doesn't depend on procreation because He's the cause, the primal cause. Does this necessary existence need? It doesn't have a need. So why would it create? For example, I created jinns. Oh God, jinns. I think it's with the double N. Anyways, and men. Sorry, so like this. And men to worship me. Did God even need this? I think it's in Surah Zariyat, but anyways. Surah Zariyat, ayat 56. I have only created jinns and men that they may serve me. And I have not created the jinn and the men except that they should serve me. Muhammad several different translations. Let's see, Quran.com. Did he need this? Did he really need this? You see, then I go to another argument, another reason, right? And here I get stuck again. I get stuck. I used to get stuck as a Shia. So, where's the logic? And not, I have created the jinn and the mankind, except that they worship me. Right? So this is the Quran, and then we have Hadith Kisa. The Shias, 12 Shias. And what has God said here? Sending Jibrail down? Let me show you. So it's a long one, oh Allah, send blessings, okay? Now Fatima to Zahra, the daughter of the Prophet, is to have thus related an event. She related it, right? My father, the Prophet, oh, I better be careful of this event because, you know. So then Ali joined, all her sons joined in the mantle. Now they're under the mantle, right? They're under the mantle, intercession upon you of Prophet and cloak. The cloak. So Ali entered the cloak with them. Then I step forward. And it goes on. It's a very long one, so bear with me, please. I'm trying to. Okay, now Jibrail comes. Jibrail the trusted landed near them and said, peace be on you, O prophets of Allah and all. The highest, the all highest conveys his peace on you and his greetings. Okay, and says, by honor and glory, O my angels, O residents of my heavens. Verily, I have not created the erected sky, the stretched earth, the illuminated moon, the bright sun, the rotating planets, the flowing seas, and the sailing ships, but for your sake and love. No? And Allah has given me permission to enter the cloak with you. May I join you? And this is so Gabriel now enters the cloak, the sixth one. Allah sends his so this is why this is, you see, but for your love I've not created, but for what? But for your sake and love. Here there's another reason given for creation. Everything God has created is for their sake and their love. Right? Oh. Now, why did God even create them? Why did God even create love? And for someone's sake, even that. God didn't have to create anything. And neither did God have to need. He's so needless, right? That he didn't need even this worship of jinn and men. So this, I'm thinking, worship. So there was a time like worship didn't mean, it was losing its meaning. When I was reading Jiddu Krishnamurti, I think, like, what is this worship? Oh, you mean to say devotion to something or what? What actually is this ibadat? Like you pray to someone or you devote? Do you need to, like you're praising? What actually is this worship? The Quran isn't clear about what is this worship. Ibadat would mean, so I have to look outside the Quran, or no? I mean ibadat in His service. Ibadah is related to Deen, obedience to Allah. Oh my God! This means when He says, "Obey me, obey Allah, and obey the Messenger of Allah," aren't you doing ibadah to the Messenger of Allah with Him? So we come back to Surah 4 ayat 150, which is misrepresented then by you. It means, i.e., look at me looking at, this is Quran icteachings.org. What is ibadah? Tawheed in ibadah and worship. Now we have the Shia. Now I have to see the. And suddenly we raised an apostle in every nation, worship Allah and shun fake deities. Surah 16, ayat 36. Reveal to him that there is no God but me, therefore serve me. Monotheism. So followers of the book come to an equitable proposition between us and you that you shall not serve any but Allah. And do not associate anyone with Allah. Ibadah, whatever dispute which exists is in minor type. Tawheed in ibadah. It's not something which some particular group can attribute it to themselves. Instead, all the monotheists, especially the Muslims, one manifest them as ibadah. Well, he should have just created limits of ibadah. Two defective presentations of ibadah. Oh my God. So, wait a minute. The parents, Surah 17 and 24. And make yourself submissively gentle to them with compassion. Ibadah. If an abject humility is the sign of ibadah of that person, then all the obedient children have to be called as polytheists. And all the disobedient ones as monotheists. Ibadah, unlimited humility. B. When some of our, so this Quran ayat, for parents it means humility towards parents? No, submissively gentle to them. Would mean you are worshipping your parent. So this does, the ibadah word is, no, ibadah is not submissive to, oh God, if ibadah is synonymous to either humility and meekness, then we cannot issue an identity card of Tawheed for anybody in this world. Oh. Right? So what is the true meaning of Tawheed? And when we said to the angels, make prostration. Prostration in front of a creature is evidence of meekness and the manifestation of unlimited humility. If such an act is the sign of ibadah, then all the obedient angels are to be declared as polytheists, right? And even the son of Yaqub, Yusuf, along with his wife and before the magnificence of Yusuf. Quran narrates dream, yeah? So, what is true Tawheed? And what then is Ibadah in Tawheed? First definition of Ibadah. Ibadah is that practical, literal, or verbal humility which originates from the belief in the divinity of the source entity. Now we should see what is meant by divinity. Now we have to see what is meant by divinity. And this is what Allah should have done in the Quran. Explained all this in detail. And the crucial point of our discussion lies in understanding the meaning of divinity. The crucial understand. Divinity gives the meaning of godliness and gives the meaning of God. If incidentally the word God has been interpreted as deity, it necessitates explanation, and not that deity is the actual meaning of the word God. Rather, in view of the fact that the genuine God or the imaginary God have been the deity and the object of worship among the people of the world, it is supposed that God gives the meaning of deity. Otherwise, deity is what is this word they're using here? Illah, God, right? It means okay. Gives the meaning of deity. Otherwise, deity is the requisites of God and not its primary meaning. A clearer evidence that the word of God denotes the meaning of God and not deity is the very pure creed of faith, Allah. If in this sentence the word God is interpreted as deity, then this creed will be a false one, because it is clear and obvious that, with the exception of Allah, there are thousands of other deities too. Therefore, for relieving themselves from the difficulty, some people have commended the word of Bal Haq, Bil Haq. So that I'm just guessing. It's easier for me to read Arabic, I think, than Urdu. So that in this way they remove the falsehood. Bil Haq is the one who is the truth. Okay, so that in that way they remove the falsehood, and this sentence becomes Allah, Allah. No deity with the truth except Allah. No deity with the truth except Allah. However, appreciating such a sentence is nothing but a formality. So, a clear proof of this definition is a verse, which has come to, in this regard. Examining this verse will clarify the fact that ibadah is that kind of speech and action which originates from the belief in divinity. Until such a belief does not exist in a person, his humility and bowing down or honor and respect will not be counted as ibadah. When Quran gives command to perform ibadah of Allah, it immediately convinces that except for Him there is no God, as Quran says. O my people, worship Allah, there is no God for you except Him. Surah Araf, ayat 59. This gets very, very difficult. The main theme of the verse I really didn't grasp properly. Surely they used to behave proudly when I said to them, there is no God but Allah. Oh, so you have to believe in there is no God but Allah. Ibadah will then make sense. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I really have to stop here. It's getting very complicated. So much to read, from one thing going to another, and I just, sorry, I don't understand. So this is what I've been doing since some years now, since year 2000. From one question to another question to another question. So, first of all, let's come here. So, if I say that Allah depends on His attributes for His creation, right? To see the creation, He has to create a higher seeing, a witness also. So Allah has to depend on His attributes for His creation. Can we say that? But then you say, no. Like someone told me when I was saying, oh, there's problems here and so much. So he said, and so much injustice, and why would Allah want this kind of evil existence of evil, right? So he said, remember, the Sayyid told me, Shia Sayyid, remember, Allah is Adal, just. He cannot do any injustice. So we'll go, somehow, what will happen to us? So, okay, I remember that Allah is Adal, right? And one day this all thing will end. The injustice in this world. That perhaps we see as injustice in the eyes of Allah is also like what Fir'aun did was injustice. Even whoever attributes partners to Allah is unjust. Oh my God, so this went on and on and on. So please see this. He created and He depends on His attributes for the creation. Now can we put it this way? Let me quickly put it this way. Now what do you say, Shias? Now I've reached Allah. You say Allah created all this. Allah created, and for His creation, Allah depends on His attributes. Like, for example, seeing, being, like being, like creating, seeing, all seeing, let's say, all seeing. I put it in orange. Nice color. Oh my goodness. But the Shias will say, remember, Allah is not dependent on anything. And this will go on. But I caught you. I think I've caught you now. No. For what He's created, He's made the seeing. He's created the seeing, the top seer. He grasps Vision grasps him not, but he grasps all vision. So for his creation, he had to create attributes like these for himself. Or what? For himself, right? And he depends on these attributes. Oh my God, can we put it this way now? Allah created, and for his creation, Allah depends on his attributes like creating, seeing. Seeing is one of his attributes. The all seeing, they put it. Oh, excuse me. And the witness. Oh, or the one who grasps. Right? All visions. So the grasping of all visions is what he has, his attribute he has created. Okay? So he depends upon this attribute that he has created. He depends upon it. But he's independent of it. Does that make sense? It may not make sense to us. Then again we go to the flow to we go to Dr. Khalil Andani. God is beyond existence. So there's a what did he say? Giving the example of logical contradiction. Aristotelian logic makes statements two contrary opposites are negated from a subject. This does not result in logical contradiction because this subject doesn't have, for example, the number 2. This subject doesn't have what? Anything that is, it's timeless. It doesn't have any contradiction. It's just contradiction. It may look to us in time a contradiction, right? But outside of time, okay, it doesn't have contradiction. Let's put it in an easy way, right? Double negation is to point out a category error. Both of the negation attributes, such as these things cannot belong to God, because God is beyond all this. Existence and non-existent, because he's neither existence nor is he non-existence, right? So, as contraries, but not as contradictories, right? Okay, you got this? Easy, right? Because God is timeless, right? And so nothing in time is from him or of him. Time is created by him. So in time it is contradictory, but in timelessness, this is not contradictory. You get it? Let's put it this way. Easy, right? In timelessness, this is not contradictory. Because although beyond existence, but not non-existence. Let's say, for example, We have time here, we have thoughts here, we have opposites here. He doesn't even have opposites. Can we put it this way? Easy way? So he exists in a way that is not non existence, but beyond existence. And this is not contradictory. And you're going to tell, Shias will tell me, Allah created, no, Imam Ali is going to tell me. Allah created, but he doesn't depend on his creation or his attributes. Because he is, oh, but you've jumped, haven't you? You're saying, okay, sometimes even that logic which is contrary, it doesn't apply to. So you're going to say, none of your logic applies to Allah, right? Because whenever you say it's dependent, we'll say he's not dependent. He's not dependent because he's not the seeing. He created seeing. He's not the witness even. He created witness. And this all he created so that for its creation. He's beyond all this. He's not dependent on this. He did not even need to then create, right? Can we say, then what kind of logic am I applying? Is that a good way to go then? Then would you tell, if, okay, he's not dependent on anything, then why did he even create when he's so needless? Please tell me. Because then we have to come to that, right? Because he says, Allah is needless. Without need, huh? Quran ayat. Let's see if I can find it like this. Then please tell me dependence on God. Human beings are completely poor, needy in front of God. Ya Allah, oh God. And he's absolutely needless of them. Quran 35, Surah 35, ayat 15. Let's check. Yeah. Allah only truth you thereby. Allah only tried you. He deferred. Okay. Where's Quran.com? Let me get Surah 35, ayat 15 in Quran.com. Oh, I didn't realize it's Surah 35. It's quite late now. I have to talk softly. Softly. You are those in need of Allah, while Allah, He is free of need. Okay, praise the praiseworthy. Hamid, Hamid. Oh, mankind. Okay, so he, Ghani, Ghani, free of need. He is free of need, right? He is self-sufficient. One free of all wants. Okay. So where was I now? Free of all wants? He is so needless. Then why did he have to create? Allah is so needless. Why did? Is there an answer here in the Quran? If you invoke them, they will not listen to your call. If he wishes, he can remove you and put in your place a new creation. And that is for Allah not difficult. See, if he is needless, he didn't even need to create, free of want. Right? He didn't need to create. He's needless. He doesn't need worship, doesn't even need to create. He didn't need to create. So, now what will you answer? Don't tell me a hadith kissa that would be, or a surah Dhariyat ayat that he created because jinn and men should worship him. He doesn't even need worship. He's so needless. He's absolutely needless. Right? So what do we have now? Now I've got you. I hope you feel stuck. Like I was stuck so many times. So I don't mean to curse you or anything, Wishwat. But now you are stuck, you see? Now you are stuck. I got you. I got you. Hands up. Shia's hands up. You are all criminals. All of you arrested. Guess what? Let me tell you now that Imam Ali, we've been lied to, so terribly deceived by Imam Ali also and Prophet Muhammad. Now you get it? How deceived we've been lied to. Oh. We can go round and round and round. As a Shia, I went round and round like this. I'm telling you, this is not the first time as an ex-Muslim, or in this I went round and round as a Shia. So now hands up to myself. And I got myself, and I see that Imam Ali lied to us. And not only Imam Ali, but Prophet Muhammad lied. So he's not dependent upon his attributes to be seeing what he has created. He is dependent upon his attributes. Everything he created, without his attributes of creation, when he created, he has caught himself. You see, the day he created, and you say he created, he caught himself. With the Quran ayats, I caught him. Even with Imam Ali, I caught him. Both. So Shias, Ismaili Shias also leave entire Islam, find something better to do. 12er Shias also, Bori Shias also. All Shias, Alawites. Wherever you are, free yourself from these lies. I just showed you how I was caught as a Shia. I got myself. Hands up to me. You are under arrest. You are a liar, you are a criminal. You have followed criminals and liars. So you see, once I find out, I get stuck and I can't understand this. Simple. It should be so simple for anyone to understand. Any human being, common, without education. And in Islam, education is important. Education. What about that ilm laduni? Hazrat Khizr came, Hazrat Musa. So you needed to be Hazrat Khizr. Hazrat Khizr didn't learn from anyone, but he had godly knowledge. Like he and God were like in knowledge, like together, like one. Excuse me for saying that, but that's true. It's like God came. So, and pray that God increase you in knowledge, but also work for it. Like go to China if you have to, or go learn and all that, right? Also, and read the Quran and learn it in Arabic until it becomes your mother tongue, right? But what I found out, I'm sharing with you that I get stuck in these things, and these were my questions for Shias also. Islam, the whole Islam has fallen on me, fallen apart. I hope it doesn't fall on me, but it has fallen apart. I shouldn't say that it has fallen on me and crushed me. And so, how can I, if I keep quiet, I would be a criminal. I'm following liars. I can't do that. So I have to save myself, and I have to stop being a criminal since I know this is a crime. To lie is a crime. According to the Quran, they have extreme punishments. Liars, for liars. So even if they say Allah created a necessary being, and why did he even have to create a necessary being? And why does Dr. Khalil Andani have to give Ibn Sina's exam? What Ibn Sina had said? I have a Sina. Oh, goodness. Couldn't he explain it through other ways? Purely from Islam? And then, you see, he gets stuck. He'll get stuck like I got stuck. Let's go to a necessary being, Ismaili. Oh, what's that again? This is Ismaili Islam. Oh, what's this? Oh. Baba, I just want to read about the necessary being. Oh. Ismaili knows this answers. What are the universal intellect and universal soul? Divine intellect, light of God. See, it's the light of God. Oh, God. The first thing created by God was the intellect. But why did God even have to create intellect? What was the necessary? What was it necessary for a God who doesn't have a need? Is needless. Okay, in classical Ismaili philosophy, God himself transcends all attributes, descriptions, names, including the categories of space and time, being and non-being, unity and multiplicity, and even existence and non-existence, right? God himself, or the ultimate reality, as they call it. So now they call it this. They call God the ultimate reality, is referred to simply as He who is above all else. You can't define Him. He is above all else. Because He transcends and is prior to the distinction between subject and object, and thus outside the range of human knowledge. In the Ismaili metaphysical worldview, all of the attributes, qualities, greatness, majesty, and perfection, particularly those of an anthropomorphic nature, pertain to the universal intellect or light of Imamat, while keeping in mind that He who is above all else is beyond all qualities. Okay, this human intellect, but why did He have to create all this? Don't give me Ibn Sina, As-Sina. Don't give me light, because light is also created. Akal-e-Kul is also created. Originated. It's the first being originated by God. Why? Yes, no, wait a minute. The originator is also His attribute. Right? Father. Father is also His attribute. So His attribute, Father, the originator, is an attribute which He created for the purpose of His creation, to tell you that He is the originator, what He is, for the creation. But what He actually is, no one knows. No one can know, no one will know. No one is able. Right? So He didn't even have to be the originator, because this attribute He needs to originate. The creation that He originated without thinking, without thought. He's the original originator. So He's the original creator. So, but why creation? Tell me. Shias will go. I know that you have to love, and no. He's so needless, He didn't need to create. He doesn't need worship. Even that Quran ayat, Muslims, now for Muslims also, see that for the Muslims, I can take Surah Fatir ayat. He's so needless, right? Where is it? 15 number. I went, up and down, or where did I go? Up. So here it is. Free of need. He's free of need. This means He doesn't need worship even, right? Try to see this. And He doesn't even need to be an originator to tell you that attribute of His. When He didn't even need to create, because He's needless. And He doesn't need worship also. For Himself, He doesn't. So please give me a reason of His creation without needing anything for Himself. Himself, He doesn't need anything. We need it, yes. So you say we needed the worship. Okay, then it'll be again the roundabout. We needed it because He created us. And now we need to worship Him. Because He created us, we need the worship, right? He doesn't need it. But why did He even create us? Now again, we'll go in that roundabout, going round and round and round and round. You see? So the best thing is to get out of this round and round vicious circle. And leave this religion. Get it? He doesn't even need to create. That he says, and I did not create the jinn and mankind except to worship me. Excuse me. He did not even need to create. He doesn't say, I need to create, because he's so needless. He doesn't need the worship. We need the worship. We need to worship him. He wants our best, right? Our good. So that's what. But I did not create jinn and mankind except to worship me. Now, why did he even create, tell me this, when he's so needless? So we'll think about that, contemplate, keep it open. And I've come this far. Thank you for being with me here, this far, coming with me, and patiently persevering. Allah is beyond existence, then He depends upon His attributes. For for creation, existence, or existence, creation, He needs His. He doesn't depend. You would say He doesn't depend on His attributes, but for creation, He depends on these attributes. Right? Can you see this or not? I wonder if you see this. Okay. I'll also see how far if I can see this and see what contradiction, whether it's a contrary, that he has no opposites, yeah. Whether it's contrary but not contradictory, because he's beyond time. Then I would say, not being dependent on his attributes, but for creation he is. Not alone. So he shouldn't have even created. I mean, no. That since he and what is the need for creation? Tell me. When he's so needless. So I come this far. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Suleiman Masi and Grishma Danero. Thank you so much. God bless you all. And if there is a God or the universe, bless you and wherever. But the best, like blessings, reach you, as you would maybe understand what blessings are. And the best of life, the beautiful life I want for you and myself, and freedom from lies and all this. So may you live a truthful, fruitful life, right? Thank you so much. We'll be searching if there is eternal life. There's something called pure awareness and witness, which we see, which is the seeing, which is the seer. In that we can be absolute, eternal, peaceful. That's the fruit. Muji said, peace comes of it. Right? So, let's see. Thank you for being with me. I really appreciate it. And please share if it might help someone. A Shia, a Smiley, a Muslim, Islam. So that we come out of this. And then just be truth seekers and seekers. No, seekers of truth. Okay? So thank you so much for being here. Have a beautiful, wonderful, totally free from all this lies and day, always. And a life. Beautiful, very beautiful.